So morning everybody. So just coming to a comfortable seated position. We're going to be here for a couple of minutes breathing and then we'll be starting to move in seated. But as you would have seen on the invitation, today the theme is our shoulders and hips and letting go of expectations. And we sort of believe that, I mean, when we say, oh, we carry the world on our shoulders and things like that, we hold a lot of tension in our shoulders, but also we hold a lot of history and tension in our hips. And it's sort of like, you know, we hold a lot of our stories, be they bad or good, but, you know, in our hips. When our hips feel tight, it's good when we start to move them, and that can start the emotions flowing. So we'll be working on shoulders and hips and just talking about letting go of expectations. So attaching ourselves to the outcomes of our expectations, we have no control over the outcome of our actions. We're not in charge of what happens. Even when we've made all the plans and taken all the appropriate actions, we still may not get what we want. We need to just let go of expectation. We should simply enjoy life as it is. This is not giving up on goals. Goals sort of give you a process to work through to reach something, so you're not sort of like just sitting there expecting. It's the opposite. It means you're taking full responsibility for your life and happiness. By expecting something, we're closing ourselves off to other opportunities. Expectations take us away from the present moment and leaves little room for understanding or openness for what life throws at us. So, and then the four sort of things that are involved in letting go of expectations are acceptance. So experiencing life just the way it is. And you can never be in complete control of what happens to you. You can only control how you choose to respond to each situation. And I think that actually is one of the most important things. It is our response to situations. Gratitude. Gratitude empowers you to look for positive outcomes in any solution. So looking at a problem from the angle of potential opportunity can help minimize the focus of sort of resentment and disappointment. Mindfulness, to stay present in the moment, can help you feel more aware of what you are doing, feeling and thinking. And then one of the biggest things is releasing resentment. So recalling painful memories about other people or events that happened or did not happen in the past comes from re-experiencing past injustices, real or perceived. And carrying the burden of resentment will only cause more pain. So, and that can sort of be that where that's related to expectations is sometimes you can have high expectations of what you want from people, but you know, and then when you're let down, you carry massive resentment, and the only person really who that's having an effect on is you. So. But it is a really hard, why it's called a practice of letting go is because that's what it is. Like with all these things that we do in yoga, they're a practice. There's not an end goal where all of a sudden we're going to be, but we are trying to work towards that. So it's just that continuous practice through life, from when we're really young to when we're old, just keeping up these practices, just trying to make our lives just a little bit, just more easier on ourselves. So we're going to start, just take my cardigan off. We're going to start with just a breath to bring us here, just a few breaths here. Remember to prop your hips up if you need to, but we're not here for long without moving. So just coming into an easy pose. And we're just going to take a few breaths where we inhale for 4, we hold the inhale for 4, we exhale for 4, hold the exhale for 4, and then the same again. So it's called a box breath, so it's square. So I'll count the first one, and then we'll just do a few more, probably just over a minute, just watching our breath and doing that counting. So it's quite nice to close your eyes or just look at a still point on the ground. Let's all just breathe out to start with, full exhalation. And then inhale for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath at the top for 4, 2, 3, 4. And exhale 4, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath out for 4, 2, 3, 4. And inhale again for 4. And just carry on at your own pace. One more round. And then just gently bringing your breath to normal breath, just your own rhythm. Just noticing how you feel after that balancing breath. And then just gently circling the head around, noticing any tension in the neck. And the other way. And back to center. So let's bring the arms out to the side. And then we're just going to bring the left hand down. And we're just going to inhale over and come back. Just waving over, feeling into the shoulder. One more like this. And then we're going to bring the arm back and over. So we're doing it at an angle, so reaching it back, you might even watch it, and reaching it over, and reaching it back, and over, and one more time, reaching it back. And then this time when we come over, reach over and then sweep it round, circle round, and come back up. So we're going forward, circling round, bringing it back up. That's it. And circling. One more in this direction. Circling around, bring it up, and then come round in the other direction. So circle round and bring it back up. Just really notice the shoulder as you move. And just bring the arm back up. Feel that reach backwards. And then just bring the arm down. Just notice the difference between the two shoulders. Take a breath and bring the arms up again. That's it. This time right arm comes down and just reaching over, feeling that sitting bone, that left sitting bone in contact with the ground. Just notice the movement in the shoulder and where else this affects the body as you move the arm gently, sway the arm gently up and down. Another one. And then bring the arm further behind and reach over and back. Feel that, how the movement feels, if it feels different, how it feels different. It's moving different parts of your body. When you move the movement of the arm, it's affecting the different parts of your body. Opening up the chest, curling forward. One more like this. And curling forward, and then sweeping round and coming up. And sweeping round. And up. One more in this direction. And then go in the opposite direction. And one more. And bring the arm back. And then just bring both hands to the knees. Notice the shoulders. Maybe just wiggle the arms a bit, wiggle them out. And then just circle the ribs around the sitting bones. And then the other way. And back to center. Just feel the sitting bones on the ground, feel the length in the spine. And then coming over onto all fours. So starting off with a few cat-cows, really press the hands and the shins into the ground, draw the navel to the spine. And then inhale, really expand the navel, draw the shoulder blades towards each other. Exhale, spine to ceiling. So just feeling that movement in the spine. So really nicely loosening up the spine, moving the synovial fluid around. One more each way. And then back to neutral. I'm going to raise, I'll turn around to face you, but I think you know what you're doing really here. Raise the right arm up. Remember, we thread it through and we come down onto the shoulder. So come down onto the shoulder and the ear. And just press in. You can either stay here or maybe bring the top arm, the left arm up and reach it over and come in line with that left ear. And just breathe there. Press it to the shins, bit of a shoulder stretch. Bring the left hand back and come back up to tabletop. Just notice the shoulders. Other side, so raising the left arm up, reaching up and coming down onto the left shoulder. First of all, feel the twist and then press the shins in and maybe, if it's comfortable, bring the right arm up and over or the top arm, whichever is the top arm. Press the shins in, breathe into that lovely opening in the intercostal muscles on the right side. And then bring the hands back up to all fours. That's it. Bring the left leg up to the side and circle the knee around. Draw circles with the knee. And then the opposite directions, just feeling into the hip. And bring that knee down. Other knee. Circle with the hip, circle round the hip. And the other way. And bring the knee down. Walking, we did this last week with our mind's eye in the heart center because we're doing the opening of the heart. This time let's think about the shoulders as we come down. So walking the hands forward, keeping the hips above the knees and bringing the forehead down.
You might even bring the chin down, just pressing the chest gently to the ground. That's a really lovely shoulder opener, as well as melting the heart. Nice curve in the back. Just breathe here. Press into the hands and walk the hands back. So let's bring the left leg out behind. That's it. Press into the ball of the foot and feel the whole engagement in the body. Feel that the weight is even on the hands. And then we're going to raise that knee up. And we're going to exhale, bring the knee to the nose, curl up the spine. Inhale, lengthen, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Let's do a couple more. Knee to nose. And then inhale, lengthen. Bring the knee again to the nose and then just step it through. That's it, so we come into a low lunge. And just first of all, feel that the weight's even on the front foot and the shin. We're going to interlace the hands and press them forwards and bring them up above the head. So just a couple of breaths here. Pressing the hands up to the ceiling, keeping the shoulders low. Feeling a nice lengthening in the front right hip flexor. Inhale, press the arms to the ceiling. Exhale, sweep the arms behind the back and interlace them behind the hips and lengthen the arms down behind. That's it, lovely. Just breathe here. Release the arms and just sweep them up softly. So just feel that softness in the arms and let them come down and just bring that knee back. That's it. Press into the hands and press into the shins and other legs. Bring the right leg behind and press into that ball of the foot. Feeling the engagement in the hips. Raise that right foot up. And then exhale, knee to nose, and inhale, lengthen. So really curling the spine as knee to nose, exhaling, letting all the breath out, and lengthening. Knee to nose, and lengthen. And then this time we bring the knee to the nose, and we step it through. That's it. Press the foot and the shin into the ground. Lengthen the arms, interlace them and bring them up above the head. Press the hands to the ceiling. Inhale, really press them to the ceiling and then exhale, sweep them back, interlace them behind and lengthen them down. So breathing there. Let the ribs be relaxed, the abdomen be relaxed. Breathe into the shoulders. And then just softly bring the arms up. And exhale, lower the hands down. Step that knee back. Take the hips back to the heels. Lengthen the arms out. And then nice big circles of the hips. That's it. And then the other way. Bring the hips back to the heels. We're just going to take one pose kneeling here. So if it's not comfortable, remember to just put something underneath the bottom. But we're just going to do the arm stretch or bring the legs out in front if it's more comfortable for you. So we're just going to bring, first of all, the left arm up. Remember when we bring the hand down to the back of between the shoulder blades. So we're just doing that. We're just going to ease it down. And just breathe there. And then we're going to release.
We're just going to bring the right arm up, same thing, so we're just giving a little bit more of a stretch here and just reaching it over, just feeling that length, gently pulling with the left arm, the right arm. And release that arm. Inhale, curve the butt back, bring the shoulder blades together, and then just exhale, layer the stomach and the chest onto the thighs. Bring the forehead to the ground if that's comfortable. And release the arms out, stretch the arms out. Take a nice deep inhalation here. And then feet hip distance apart, up to downward dog. So really bend each knee. Feel the whole of the hands on the floor. Take the hips back to the back of the mat. Come up onto tiptoe and down, and tiptoe and down. And then just take a breath here. Look towards the end of the mat. Walk the feet up. Hip distance apart still. Take hold of the forearms and just sway from side to side. It's a really lovely stretch in the lower back. Shake the head and nod the head, let the neck release. And then release the arms, bend the knees, press into the floor and roll up to standing. That's it, lovely. Just take a breath up here. Noticing how you feel once you come to standing. I'll just turn to face you. We're just going to bring the hand fingertips up to the shoulders and do those lovely circles. Bringing the elbows as close together and as far away from each other as possible. So. And in the opposite direction. And then release. And then with the full arms, let's bring the whole arm. So as if we're doing backstroke first of all. Well, it'd be like a back butterfly, wouldn't it? So just bringing both arms back. Feeling how that opens the chest, opens the front of the body. And then coming forward, how that's different. You might feel slightly different in each shoulder. So. And then just release the arms. Take your mind down to the soles of the feet and feel the feet on the ground. And then take your mind up through the body, engaging the kneecaps, engaging the front of the thighs, being aware of the pelvis, the abdomen, feeling the length that we've created in the spine already, in the opening in the chest. Arms are heavy and shoulders are relaxed. Crown of the head is reaching for the ceiling. And from here, we're going to inhale and raise the arms up, reach up, little bend in the knees, exhale, fold forward. Bring the hands up the shins and lengthen the spine. And then exhale, forward fold. Step the left foot back. And if you want to bring the knee down, bring the knee down. But we already did this with the knee on the ground. Just see how you feel. And we're going to bring the arms out again and bring them up. And just lengthen the arms up for a couple of breaths here. Lovely. Release the arms down behind and just open the shoulders up from the front. Sweep the arms back up. Exhale, bring the hands to the ground and just step back, downward dog or all fours, whichever's good for you. That's it. And then we're going to bring the left leg forward again.
So doing it the other side, bring the hands up. So you can always bring the hands to the knee first to steady yourself, or you can always stay on the knee and then bring the arms up this side, this on this side. Breathe into that, opening the armpits, the back. And then release the arms back and lengthen them back. That's it. Sweep the arms up. Exhale, lower them down and step the foot forward. So, press into the feet, bring the arms up nice and wide, palms together, down to heart center. Just take a breath. Inhale, sweep the arms up and exhale, forward fold. Let's just bring the hands to the back of the calves and just draw the body. Notice the head's really heavy. Just let the head, wherever you are, just let the head be heavy so the chin might come to the chest. So just really release the head. Press the hips to the ceiling. And then bring the hands to the fronts of the shins and lengthen the spine. Draw the shoulder blades together. Exhale, bring the hands to the ground. Step the right foot back. And we're going to keep the right hand on. If you feel you want to bring the knee down, please do, but maybe press the back of the leg up to the ceiling. And we're going to raise the left arm up. First of all, we're just going to circle it round a couple of times, and then round the other way a couple of times. Feel a nice looseness in the shoulder, and then inhale, look up, and exhale, bring it down. Just hug under the knee, bring the chin to the chest. Inhale, open up, so you're opening up the chest and shoulder socket. Exhale, down. And one more time. Inhale up and exhale, curl down. Just bring the arm back up and lower it down. Step back, downward dog. That's it. Just breathe into the downward dog. Look between the hands, either come down onto the knees or whichever's good for you. Step the right foot forward and either keeping that back knee up or not, whatever's best. This time we're pressing the left hand into the ground, raising the right arm up, just taking it back a couple of times and forward. Just use these for movements to really notice where you can feel that movement in the body. And then inhale, open up the chest, sweep under the thigh. Inhale, open, and exhale, scoop under the thigh. Inhale, open, and exhale. And just one more open this time. Bring the hand down, step the foot forward. Press into the feet, sweep the arms up. Hands down to heart center. And just take a breath here. Inhale, raise the arms up. Maybe take your gaze to the ceiling. And then when we bend the knees and reach forward, Uttanasana, forward fold. Hands to the shins for half forward fold, Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhale, back to the forward fold. We're now going to step both feet back to come into downward dog. And if you want to do this on your knees, remember you can always do it on your knees. So you could exactly the same movements. So we're going to bring the left leg up first and just press into both heels. And then just see if you just stack the hips on top of each other and just bend that left knee. That's it, so just bending the left knee, lovely. And then bring the hips even again. And we're going to bring the knee into the nose And then press into the hands and bring the leg up again. That's it. Bring the knee into the nose. And bring the leg up again. And then this time, wherever you are, just bring the foot in between again. In the hands. And then we're going to walk that left foot out so that it's towards, it's almost, I've got mine almost at the edge of my mat and the hands are inside it. So both hands are inside the left leg. Just rock backwards and forwards here. Just let the whole body rock forwards and backwards here. That's a lizard pose, this is called. And then lower that back knee and untuck the toes. And just take a couple of breaths here, just feeling so it's quite strong on the hip. That's it. And then you might even come down onto the forearms. Or if you have bricks, you could always put your arms on the bricks and come down. Or you might just stay here, maybe bending the elbows and just breathing into just bending the elbows a bit. You might even just bounce a little bit. Just notice how that, you can really feel that in the hip and you're stretching the front hip flexor. Another breath here. And then press into the hands. Just bring that knee back. Take the hips back to the heels. And then press into the feet. Back up to downward dog, or if you want to do it from all fours, do it from all fours, of course. So this time we're raising the right leg up, and first of all just stack the hips on top of each other and bend the knee. By bending the knee, it just makes the leg heavy, so it's like opening up the front of the hips a bit more. Even the hips out again, and bring the knee right into the nose as you exhale. And then inhale, bring it back up. That's it. Inhale, knee to nose. Bring it back up. And this time we're stepping it through. So if you keep it high up towards the chest of the nose, and then step it through. That's it. Walk the foot out to the edge of the mat, the right foot. Both hands are inside. Back into lizard pose this side. And just doing that rocking backwards and forwards. Just scooping the body forward and back. And then lower that knee down, untuck the toes, just sort of bounce the arms up and down a little bit. Notice the feeling, or come down onto the forearms, whichever's good for you. It does feel quite nice when you move up and down. Just bend the elbows, breathe into that right hip. Press into the hands, bring that knee back, take the hips back to the heels, just bring the forehead to the ground, take a breath. Maybe take the hips from side to side. And then inhale, tuck the toes under, up to downward dog. Take a breath. And then walk the hands and the feet towards each other to the middle of the mat. Just take hold of the forearms again, because it's always good to take the opportunity to just lengthen the back. And then bend the knees and roll up to standing again. That's it, lovely. And then coming to stand lengthways on the mat. So we're going to bring the legs out wide. We're going to do triangle pose first, because that also is really strengthening the outside of the hips when we do triangle pose. So turning the left toes out and the hips are still in line with the front of the mat. Inhale, raise the arms up. And remember, we look towards the middle finger, press the feet into the ground, keep the hips really steady, and reach over to the left and bring the hand down to where it wants to come on the calf. And then the shoulders are stacked on top of each other.
keep pressing into the feet. And just breathe here, lovely. You might take your gaze up to the thumb. Inhale here. Exhale, look down. And inhale, come up. Lovely. Hands to hips. Turn those left toes in. Turn the right toes out. So same thing this side. Hips in line with the front of the mat. Really press the whole of the feet into the ground. So the legs are your real strong base to the pose of the hips. So we're moving, the movement is in the hips, but it's as if we're leaning against the wall or we're between two panes of glass. Want to keep ourselves as flat as possible. So press into the feet and inhale. Exhale, reach over, remember those two planes of glass, and come down. Just reach up. That's it. Oh, there's my screen. No, it hasn't gone. Reaching up. Inhale, look up. Exhale, look down. And inhale, come up. That's it. Bring the feet in, bring the hands down. Can you still see me? Yes, good. Because my computer, something's happened with my laptop. My laptop screen's gone, but my television screen's fine. Okay, bring the heels in and come down into goddess pose. That's it. And we're going to bring the arms to cactus arms. Inhale here, really feel that opening. Bring the knees back and exhale, bring the forearms together. Inhale, open, and exhale, closed, and then inhale, open. And then we're just going to either stay here, take a couple of breaths, bounce up and down a bit, or if you want to challenge yourselves a little bit further, we're just going to raise up onto the tips of the toes, onto the balls of the feet rather. And then lower the feet, bring the arms down. That's it. Heel toe the feet in a little bit further. And we're just going to lower the hips to the ground. So, and just come into a squat, wherever's good for you. Really, squatting is just so good for the hips, also very good for the pelvic floor. So breathing here. Let's bring the left arm out, fingertips, raise the right arm up. That's it, so it's inside, lovely. And back to center, other hand out, and reach up, lovely. And back to center. So take a breath here, really feel the crown of the head reaching to the ceiling. And then bring the hands to the ground, raise the hips up. Walk the feet in, bend the knees, and just roll back up to standing again. That's it. Coming towards the front of the mat, just take a breath, notice how you're feeling. Inhale, raise the arms up, reach back. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. I'm going to step both the feet back again to downward dog. Just take a breath here. Inhale up through the palms of the hands. Exhale down the back of the legs. And then roll down onto the knees, back to all fours. And we're going to do some dolphins here, which is really good for opening up the shoulders and strengthening the arms, really good for strengthening the arms. The way that I like to do it is I take hold of the forearms like this on the ground And then I keep the elbows exactly where they are and bring the hands out. So it's a tripod, so that I interlace the hands. So I'm in that position. Hands are together, your shoulders directly underneath, the elbows directly underneath. When you go like that, it means the elbows directly underneath the shoulders. So really press those forearms into the ground. Tuck the toes under, take the hips back, and then press up onto the forearms. You might just walk your feet a little bit forward. That's it. And then we're just going to inhale, press the shoulder, the chest back towards the legs. And exhale, bring the head over the hands. So if you can see that movement, we're coming, rocking back and forwards and back and forwards. Let me see that you're doing it. Yeah, brilliant. And forwards. And then just coming back, the head's away from the hands, you're pushing the chest towards the thighs. Just a breath here, let the head relax. And then roll down onto the knees. Bring the knees a bit wider into child's pose. And what's nice to do here is to bring the arms behind by the legs. So you really allow the shoulders to release. Couple of breaths here. Then you might bring the arms forward again, let the hips be really heavy. Just breathe here. And then walking the hands back. We're going to come to kneeling, so remember you can always put a brick or a cushion or a couple of bricks or cushions underneath to sit on, or just kneel, whatever's comfortable for you. We're just going to do stretch the arm a bit further, do the cow face pose. And I mean, you can use a strap here, but we could just use our tops if you can't quite reach hands. So just make sure that you're comfortable. Spine is nice and straight. That's it. And then bring the left arm up again and put it between the shoulder blades, like we did when we brought the right arm. I'll just face you. So exactly the same thing as when we brought that arm up and then we pull it over with the left. And then we're going to bring the left up, the other arm, right arm round and bring it up to meet the other hand. If it doesn't meet, you can always use your top. So you can use your top to just pull. So you just hold onto the top and you want the left elbow going towards the ceiling and the right elbow going towards the ground. Keep the elbows nicely tucked, the ribs, tucked in. And just breathe here. Lovely. And then release that side. Just notice how the shoulders are, how they're feeling. Bring the right arm over and place it between the hand, between the shoulder blades. Bring the left arm up. That's it. Bring the hand round. Take hold of the hands and just breathe here. Just breathing here, lovely. So holding your top or the hands, letting the front ribs be soft, not puffing them out too much. That's it. Lovely, everybody. And then releasing the arms, shaking the arms out, getting rid of the prop. We're going to come back onto all fours. And we're going to do what's called pigeon, or sort of like half pigeon.
So we're going to bring the right knee towards that right wrist. And when we come into, we can wiggle our leg back and come into this position. Or if that's not very comfortable for you, you can do it's exactly the same. You can just roll onto that right hip and bring the left thigh into like that zigzag position that we sometimes do. So just do whichever feels good for you. So either, that's it, roll onto the right hip. That's it. Remember, we do the zigzag legs. That's it. And then you're facing over that right knee. Your sternum is sort of in line facing with the right knee. So I was much more on the right hip there. Okay. So you can do it either way, with the legs stretched out or not. That's full pigeon. Maybe we should all do it just in the zigzag leg. That's it. And then we're going to inhale and just look up, and then exhale, just dive down, just come forward. Inhale, so it's a sort of ripple we're doing coming up, and exhale. Inhale up, and then this time when we come down, just taking a couple of breaths here. Is that all right on everybody? So, and then coming up, bringing the hands back to all fours position, and just coming up, back up onto all fours, taking the hips from side to side. And that's quite strong on the hips. I can feel that. Even zigzag legs is quite strong. So other side, we're bringing the left knee to the wrist and either stretching that right leg right back, so you come to pigeon like that, or rolling, take my weight over onto the left hip and bring that right thigh to the foot, to the left foot. That's it. And then turn the sternum to face over that left knee. And then, like, think about when you see, pigeons, when they inhale and their breast gets bigger. So inhale, draw the shoulder blades together and look up, and exhale, bring the crown of the head to the ground, and then do that. Inhaling, rippling up, and exhaling. One more time, inhale up, and exhale down. Just take a couple of breaths here. Breathe into the hips. And then inhale up. And we're going to stay on this left hip here. Remember, we do the twist Ardha Matsyendrasana. So we bring that right leg over. I don't think you can see me. I'll do it to face you. So I'll do it as a mirror. So my right knee is here, and my right foot is the outer edge of the left hip, and my left foot is in front. And we just draw the knees up. Just notice the sitting bones here. Or, yeah, you can always do it with the leg out in front as well. So do it with the leg in front if that's more comfortable for you. Inhale, really use the hands to draw the shoulders back and create that length in the spine. Inhale, exhale, bring the hand behind, left hand behind. Reach the right arm up. We're twisting towards the folded leg, bent leg, top leg, and twist round. Just turn the neck backwards and forwards, make sure that the neck isn't being held too tight. Then notice you're not holding the jaw too tight. And as you inhale, you lengthen. And as you exhale, you just soften. So just breathing into the twist here. Lovely.
One more inhale, and then back to center. You can just lean back on your hands here, just take the legs over to the other side, just bring the other leg over the straightened leg. So just doing it to the other side. This time, yeah, it'll be your right leg. That's why I was coming over. That's it. And just feel that length, first of all, in the spine. And notice that you can feel both sitting bones. The left one won't have as much, or the right one, well, the upper leg won't have as much contact with the sitting bone, but you can still feel it there a little bit. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, bring that right hand behind. Inhale that left arm up, and then hook the arm round. And just inhale and exhale. Face is relaxed and neck's relaxed. And then inhale, come back to center. So uncross the legs, and we're going to come down onto our fronts now. It's just coming down onto our fronts. Let's come into crocodile and just let everything release for a couple of breaths. And when we're during our yoga practice, our physical yoga practice, you know, letting go of expectations is letting go of how we expect ourselves to appear in poses, or expect ourselves to reach certain goals in poses. It's just much better to just accept ourselves for where we are now at this moment. And the whole point of the practice is the practice. And having our mind just on this moment as we go through the practice. So we're going to lengthen the legs out. And we're going to bring the hands to fingertips underneath, with the elbows out. So the arms are out to the side with the elbows bent and out at shoulder height. You can see that. So I brought my hands outside the mat. And on my fingertips, and then we just raise up, so it's like a wide sort of cobra, and then we just do figures of eights with the shoulders, so we're just swaying from side to side. That's it. So you just got the elbows bent and just feel there. And then release down. Bring the hands to the corners of the mat, top corners, and then press into the hands and come up into a nice wide cobra, drawing the chest between the hands and the shoulders drawing towards each other, the shoulder blades drawing towards each other. And then release down. Bring the hands a bit closer to you. We're just going to come up, going to thread the right arm underneath and then the left arm. So we're crossing the arms and then we're just lowering the head. And breathe into between the back of the shoulder blades. So sort of stretch in the upper arm. I can really feel it in my left upper arm. And then bring the hands back. And this time we want the right arm. Come up, right arm first. And then that's the other way. Right arm on top, left arm underneath. And just breathe there. Breathe into the back of the shoulder blades. And bring the hands on top of each other again, back to crocodile. Bring the feet out to face towards the back corners of the mat and just take the hips from side to side. Take a breath with the body against the ground. Allow the body to soften. And then bring the hands to heart level. And just push the hips back. Let's come to a nice wide child's pose. Just take a breath there to reverse the back bends that we just did. And then walk the hands back and come over with the legs stretched out in front to start with. So for staff pose, just bring the fingertips to the ground. Gently press the back of the legs into the ground. Reach the crown of the head up to the ceiling. And then we're just going to bend the knees and just bring the knees, excuse me, up a bit. Reach the arms up and just layer the stomach and chest onto the thighs. Just lengthen that lower back. And then just maybe push the feet out a bit. And just breathe down into the lower back. Press into the legs. Sweep the arms up again. Bring the arms down by the sides and then bring the feet in to Baddha Konasana. Bring the hands behind. Butterfly the legs. That's it. And then hands to feet and just lead with the chest. So just reaching over. Just breathing there. It's just feeling into the hips as we breathe. And then just sweeping the hands up to the knees and bringing the knees together. That's it. Bringing ourselves down the mat, taking hold of the thighs and coming down to lie on our backs. And just bring the knees together, walk the feet out, constructive rest. Now let the body sink towards the back. Allow the organs to all sink towards the ground. Let the head be heavy on the ground. And then keeping the feet where they are, just bring the knees up. Bring the hands out wide. And then take the knees from side to side. So those windscreen wiper legs. Really notice as you roll over the hips. Notice the hips, then maybe notice the inside, the groins, the inner thighs, where you can feel this movement. Next time we roll over to the left, pick that left foot up and put it on the outer edge of the right knee and just let the weight of that leg just give you a bit of a stretch in the right front hip flexor. Take the breath down to there. And then release that side. Bring the hips over, the knees over to the right. Same thing this side, pick the right leg up, place it on the outer edge of the left knee. And just breathe into that lovely space. You can almost feel it at the waist, the front of the hip. And just breathe there. Or just notice where you could feel it. And then release. Bring the feet in now, hip distance apart. Feel the feet flat on the floor. And we're going to pick the left leg up and place the ankle, or just not the knobbly bit, just above the ankle, on the top of the right thigh, just below the knee.
And then we're going to thread the left arm between the legs, lift that right thigh up and take hold behind the thigh. Remember to thread the needle, and then lower the back down and just gently draw the right thigh towards you and gently press the left inner thigh away, maybe with your elbow. Keep that left foot flexed, but the right foot can just relax. But we keep the left foot flexed to protect the knee. Allow your shoulders to relax. Breathe down into that left hip. You might even just change where the weight is on your back. Just notice how that affects that left hip. And then release that side. Place both feet on the floor. Just notice how each hip feels. And then cross the right ankle over the left leg. Thread the right hand between the, oh, excuse me, the right hand between the legs. Take hold of the left thigh. Lower the back down. Right foot flexed, left foot can be relaxed. Or you can flex it if you want, but it's most important to keep the right foot flexed. Let the shoulders release. Breathe into that right hip. Maybe alter where that you are on the hips. Feel the difference in the stretch in the right hip, the effect that has the hip, the stretch in the hip. And then release. Place the feet on the floor. Just take the knees again from side to side. Keep the feet a bit closer together. Just release the hips. Up to center. And then Ananda Balasana, happy baby. So bring the knees towards the armpits, the legs are apart. And bring the soles of the feet towards the ceiling. And then you might hold on to just keep hold of the thighs, draw the knees towards the armpits. Or you might take hold of the ankles or the outer edges of the feet. And you might even roll from side to side. Quite nice. As much of the spine in contact with the ground as possible. And then release the happy baby. Let's just shake the legs out. Place the feet on the floor. You might just want to move the legs around a bit after all the hip stuff we've done. And then getting socks on or jumpers, whatever you need to come into relaxation. So I'm going to put my jumper on. That's it, making sure you're nice and warm on this lovely sunny morning. Using whatever props you need. If you need something under your knees, if you need a blanket. And just relaxing onto the ground. And just feel that contact with the body, with the ground. Allow it to completely release. Let's take a really deep inhalation in through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Completely letting go. Completely letting go physically. Feel the weight of the body against the ground. Feel the softness on the front of the body.
Take a deep breath down to the tips of the toes. And as you exhale, release the toes and the feet, the shins, the knees and the calves. And allow the legs to be really heavy and really released. Next, inhale down to the tips of the fingers, through the shoulders, through the arms, tips of the fingers. And as you exhale, release the fingers, the wrists, the arms, the shoulders. Arms completely relaxed. Inhale into the whole of the abdomen, feeling that expanse in the abdomen. And as you exhale, completely releasing and softening. And then inhaling fully into the lung area, into the ribs, feeling the back of the ribs press against the ground, the sides of the ribs and the front of the ribs. Exhale, soften. And then inhale, squeeze the face up into a little ball. And exhale, open the mouth. And then just allow the body to completely release, to completely let go after the practice. And I'm just going to read this poem by Sapphire Rose called She Let Go. She let go. She let go without a thought or a word. She let go. She let go of the fear. She let go of the judgments. She let go of the confluence of opinions swarming around her head. She let go of the committee of indecision within her. She let go of all the right reasons, wholly and completely, without hesitation or worry. She just let go. She didn't ask anyone for advice. She didn't read a book on how to let go. She didn't search the scriptures. She just let go. She let go of all of the memories that held her back. She let go of all of the anxiety that kept her from moving forward. She let go of the planning and all of the calculations about how to do it just right. She didn't promise to let go. She didn't journal about it. She didn't write the projected date in her diary. She made no public announcement and put no ad in the paper. She didn't check the weather or read her daily horoscope. She just let go. She didn't analyse whether she should let go. She didn't call her friends to discuss the matter. She didn't utter one word. She just let go. No one was around when it happened. There was no applause. No one thanked her or praised her. No one noticed a thing. Like a leaf falling from a tree, she just let go. There was no effort. There was no struggle. It wasn't good and it wasn't bad. It was what it was, and it is just that. In the space of letting go, she let it all be. A small smile came over her face, a light breeze blew through her, and the sun and the moon shone forevermore. Slowly bringing yourself back to this morning, back to today. Bringing some movement to the body, maybe wiggling your fingers and your toes, taking your head from side to side. And then just taking a nice long deep inhale again. And exhaling through the mouth. Just walk the feet in, maybe bring the knees to the chest. Maybe just take a roll from side to side. And then rolling over to whichever side is comfortable for you. Coming up to seated. Maybe keeping the eyes at half gaze or fully closed. And we'll bring the hands to heart center. And just take this moment to just notice how you feel after the practice, how you feel emotionally, physically and mentally. And then bowing our heads to ourselves and each other, thanking ourselves for doing the practice and each other. And I hope you've all benefited from practice today. Have a good week.
Thank you.
Have a great 2 weeks. I'll contact you.
Thank you very much, Mary.
Thanks
Have a
so
good
much.
rest of the
Thank
day.
you. Get out and enjoy the sun, everyone.
Thanks, Mary.
All this.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you. See you all soon.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.